All right. Lindsay asked me to do an unboxing of a bunch of crap I got from the Warner Archive store in their final sale before moving fulfillment to Amazon. So let's have a look at what we got inside here. Got some goodies, got some discs, some bubble wrap, very useful. Look at all these shiny discs, man. Look at what we got. Let's take it all out and then let's have a look at all of these goodies. Okay, so the first set of stuff I got were these 3 discs of 1940s Popeye cartoons. It's about 45 color shorts in all. And the cool thing about these, or the interesting thing at least, is that these were all made after the Popeye character and Popeye Productions moved from Fleischer Studios to Famous Studios. So instead of Max Fleischer directing a lot of these, it's his brother Dave. They're a lot less weird than the old black and white Popeye cartoons, but still kind of cool. Also, at this point during this run, the voice of Popeye, Jack Mercer, he actually went off to serve in World War II, so he was frequently replaced by Floyd Buckley and Harry Foster Welch. So you hear kind of this different Popeye voice going on occasionally. These are good film transfers, allegedly. Cheap discs too. These were like $10 each. And I loved these crummy cartoons as a little kid. So I expect to be bored to absolute shit now watching them. But hey, they were part of my childhood. I wanted them in my library, and now I have them. And so basically, I just need Warner Archive to reissue the black and white Popeyes on Blu-ray because I missed the second and third sets when those came out on DVD, and I need them. Any Popeye animation done after this stuff, like the stuff done for TV in the 50s and then the 70s and 80s, that's hot garbage, man. Not worth watching at all. So I would definitely buy it. Like just as a sample, this, the insert artwork. Oh, that is different key art, so that's cool. But it's the same color scheme. There are no inserts. These you're not going to find elaborate booklets or anything with these cartoons. Now, these 2 sets are the bulk of Tex Avery's work for MGM, I think. And when he got these a couple of weeks ago, Justin Sudeikis asserted that Tex Avery's stuff is not really as good as Bob Clampett's or Chuck Jones's stuff for Looney Tunes cartoons. I think generally that's correct, but some of these are still really, really good, funny cartoons. I'm a big fan of Who Killed Who, which is part of the first set. That is a twist ending that you're never going to see coming. And I'm also really into Magical Maestro, which that's the one that has the opera singing bulldog squaring off against the magic using magician's hair. A lot of really good sight gags in there. Avery's sight gags don't really always hit as hard. Like his comic timing isn't as sharp, but his gags are usually way weirder, and I like weird. Oh yeah, you look at the inside and you can see both on the outside you see him wearing the crowd, and on the inside there's the MVP Droopy. He just stands there and it's like, you know what? I'm happy. Now, what I'm holding now here, this is a piece of the Seven Arts Anime Legacy. Seven Arts was a company, film production company that made B pictures for bigger outputs, like United Artists in the 40s and 50s. They saved their money and they invested wisely, and they kind of kept on growing. They frequently were a licensing partner to Warner Brothers. And in 1967, Seven Arts bought Warner Brothers for 30 million bucks, and then the 2 companies merged and were known as Warner Seven Arts for a long time before eventually just being called Warner Brothers once again. And that one single company had 2 anime series that they kind of made themselves, the kind that were animated in Japan but created for an American audience. Now, the thing about Marine Boy, though, is it was developed first as a Japanese series. There was a 3-episode pilot and then a 26-episode TV series. And then there's a whole saga of how these 2 shows, they're not really available on home video anymore. And in fact, the back half of the second series is completely lost. No one knows where it went. But all of the stuff that was later made for America the year afterwards, at the behest of a producer named Joe Oriolo, is included on 3 sets. And for a long time, I've had set 1, so this is me completing the other 2 sets. And this is all about Marine Boy, the brightly colored adventure cartoon about a kid who swims around with a super smart dolphin and a mermaid girlfriend, futuristic weapons and submarines, and of course, oxy gum, a super oxygenated gum that lets him breathe underwater. This was the stuff of Saturday morning fun for kids in the 1960s. And a lot of Warner Archives TV stuff, especially 80s cartoons, if you've ever collected these sets, it comes from videotape masters, which it's all right, but it's not really that good. These sets are actually like straight off of the 16 millimeter films, so they're sharp and the colors really pop. Unless these TV episodes are rescanned in high definition, and they might be because they're still in Warner's vault. This is probably the best they're going to look. And now that I have all three sets, you just watch. This thing's going to come out on Blu-ray, but that's a sacrifice I'm happy to make. Okay, now if we pop this open, you'll see that the key artwork for this one is quite basic, and you'll also notice the purple backs of the disc indicating that this is manufactured on demand. These are DVD-Rs. I've had very good luck with MOD DVD-Rs. I haven't had any defective discs. That being said, since since these discs are being authored with a dye process rather than the Glassmaster and pressing for regular DVDs, these are probably only going to last 10, 20, maybe 30 years tops. So if you collect some old shows in this format, make sure you back them up on hard drives. And here, this is the crown jewel of the purchase I made from Warner Archive. Johnny Cipher in Dimension Zero is the red-headed stepchild of like Seven Arts Warner's anime. After Marine Boy did pretty decently on television, the producer Joe Oriolo, who also brought over Princess Knight, and who you might know as a Felix the Cat guy. He did the 50s cartoon of Felix the Cat. Oriolo went to Televidoga, the studio that produced this, and asked them to do another series, follow-up to Marine Boy. But the thing is, this show went to a less talented crew, less focused staff, and with less firm guidance from the American side on scripts and storyboarding. So what you got was a cartoon that was striking, but really bizarre and amusingly terrible. There's not a lot of information on the Japan side of this either. The voice cast isn't known, and it's believed to have been directed by Seiji Okuda when he was just 25 years old, which kind of makes sense. Okuda did the extremely kind of awesomely crummy Govarian, and also the awesomely weird Crystal Triangle, and of course the just plain awesome Dream Hunter Rim. So this is kind of a foundational thing that he did work on as an animation director, and it's thought that maybe he was the director on this. I think of Johnny Cipher as an animated analog to the comics of an artist named Fletcher Hanks. If you like weird old comics, you've probably heard of Hanks. He was an early 1930s superhero artist who traded in like these intensely violent and bizarre images and plot twists. He wasn't a very good artist, but every one of his comics had these intense, weird, primal moments that made them worth reading. And it's the same thing with Johnny Cipher. This is an awesomely weird show, and it's bad, but you just can't help but like it. This was also dubbed in English by the Speed Racer pit crew, Peter Fernandez, Corinne Orr, Jackie Grimes, all those guys. So it's good to hear those voices again. And in fact, they were dubbing this while they were doing Speed Racer. It would have been nice to have the Japanese dub of something like this, but I don't think most of those versions of the episodes survived at all. They were only broadcast once in 1968 and then never again. But Johnny Cipher, man, let's take a look inside. Yeah, this isn't really much of a cover before I crack it open. If I had my druthers, I would hire a talented key artist, maybe someone like Marco Albiero, but a little nicer to draw new key art. Anyway, if we open this up, oh yeah, it's just a title. It's just a title graphic and nothing else. This is it. This is my haul from Warner Archive, and let's all sing along to the Johnny Cipher theme song.
Tomorrow.